Voters in the Little Rock School District will see a different looking ballot this year. A new state law reduced the size of the board, leaving just 2 uncontested races. Tonight we focus in on one of them. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky has more from a Zone 3 candidate and explains what's at stake for the area.
Brooke, we told you last week about the district's board downsizing. Zone 3 is one of just 2 races giving voters a choice between candidates. Tonight we're hearing from one of the people hoping to represent that zone.
With fewer students and fewer board seats, every contested race in the Little Rock School District now carries more weight. The Zone 3 candidate Selandria Jackson has been in the community for years, but wants to have a different kind of impact.
I think we need to start having more conversations outside of Thursday nights with our parents, with our teachers. I don't want to just have the meeting every Thursday and every other Thursday and then leave and go home. I really want to work on us promoting our district, us getting people to understand what we really have.
While the district continues to lose students, Jackson says the district must promote itself to win families back.
Getting people to understand what we really have, what's really being offered, that is so important to me that we just don't know. And we're going to have to figure out as an organization, how do we get parents involved more? How do we get people to come out more? How do we get the community involved more? And we should have community partners that join us to do this, because I understand the resources, financial resources may be a challenge, but with community partners, we can get it done.
She also encourages finding creative ways to use the schools that are currently sitting vacant.
For tutoring, for after-school programs, a place where we can go during the day, have adult education programs.
Jackson wants to see an emphasis on athletics to build a sense of pride and community.
Not only are you playing, but you're in community. Let's get community service back into our student athletes. Let's get the culture of fans coming together, not arguing at games and anything like that. We're going to have real competition, fun. Students glad to go back to the game, have parents in the stands, have fans in the stands, and I think that creates a culture where I have to have my grades. I'm a student athlete, I'm a student first.
Make sure you mark your calendars. Early voting starts from 4 weeks from today on February 16th. For the full interview, go to thv11.com. And coming up at 6, we hear from the other candidate in Zone 3 and his vision for the district. Back to you, Brooke.
We continue our coverage of the Little Rock School Board election. If you joined us at 5, you met Zone 3 candidate Selandria Jackson. New at 6, we meet her opponent, Kadarius Knapper, and his vision for the district. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky reports Zone 3 is one of only 2 contested races.
With declining enrollment in a newly downsized school board, only 2 Little Rock School District races are contested this year. Zone 3 is one of them. And we're hearing from the second candidate, Kadarius Knapper, who's asking for your vote. He currently works with juveniles across the state and says it's important to cut off the education to prison pipeline at an early age by giving teachers the tools they need to make sure students K through 3rd can read.
Teachers need resources. Teachers need someone who's going to stick up for them, who's going to advocate for them, who's going to speak up ultimately. I'm also seeing a slight decrease in school attendance. And one of my big things that I wanted to push in the campaign is being there for teachers and making sure that students are able to read. But for them to provide them those services, they have to be there.
Knapper says the district needs ways to better market itself, and hopefully that will bring families back to the district.
There's things called, well, there used to be called in-home coordinators. I believe Western Hills still have their in-home coordinators. We need more of those throughout the district. So that means that they're going into communities, not calling, they're actually going up to their doors and figuring out, what do you need, what's going on. I believe that we need those in each schools.
As enrollment keeps slipping and funding becomes a hurdle, Knapper plans to trim costs by leveraging local groups.
We need to find more grants, and we also need to utilize our community. There's a lot of community organizations in Little Rock that I have personally spoke with that are ready to work with these school districts. We need to start using our resources in that way. And I believe that that would cut down some of us being in debt if we actually start using the community.
He also wants vacant schools turned into family resource hubs to boost attendance and support.
What I've seen personally, some kids don't have anywhere to go after school. And that's even worse. Or they're trying to live somewhere, going to couch. We have to support these students, not just in the school, but we have to find a way to support them outside of it as well.
Thank you, Tanya. Early voting starts 4 weeks from today on February 16th. You can watch the full interview on our website, thv11.com.